let's talk about it. So Anna Navaro, she saw a poll numbers that said that Trump's support amongst black folks is going up a little bit, like 30% or whatever. And many people on the left, and Anna Navaro is not on the left, she's on the right. She's a never Trumper, but she's going to the dark side. She dislikes Trump so much that she's even voting and supporting Democrats locally in her own state of Florida. But we'll get to that. But there are these never Trumpers, right? These are people who so-called been Republican commentators on TV for the last few years. Trump comes in, now they switched it up, which I get it politically. That's a bag. That's a bag, right? If you look at TV, most of the Republicans that you see on CNN or MSNBC frequently are never Trumpers. Even on The View, Meghan McCain's there, Anna Navaro's on The View often, and many liberal outlets pick them up to come talk and do their spiel. And get it, it's a bag though. There's money involved in doing that. So, I mean, it is what it is. But Anna goes in, she crosses the line, and I do ponder, like, what do you do with these never Trumpers after Trump is gone? Because they can't really be trusted, right? Like, I can understand you having principles and say, I don't trust Trump because of his policy. And if he did things that were not in line with your Republican views as far as fiscal conservatism and other things that you support, that you've been voting for Bush, that you voted for Reagan, but now somehow Trump is somewhat different, I can understand if he changed policy and you said, I can't bang with that, right? But his behavior, being, brash and a dickhead, is that enough for you to go run to the other side and vote for other candidates who support policies that you don't believe in? I don't comprehend that. If anything, I could see being silent. But again, there's a bag. There's money involved in being a never Trumper, being a Republican, being like, and I have her picture up here, little chick that be wearing a funny color contact, Tamara. She's on TV often. She's also another never Trumper Republican, and she goes on The View often, right? Again, in CNN and all that other stuff now. Since the election, their bag has risen, their cachet has been risen. Because of that, they hold that stance, which is standard, right? I get it. But the one thing that's funny about Tamara's, right, is even though she's playing this, I hate Trump, get Trump out of here, I won't vote for him, I'm going to vote. I don't know if she said it, but I'm sure she's going to vote for the Democrat nominee, which is beyond me. But even Michael Steele said, it's a game time decision. Michael Steele has been very vocal against Republicans in general and of Trump, but he's not going to just jump out the window and say, yeah, I'm voting for the Democrat. He said it's going to be a game time decision. It's something I'm going to have to think about and process. I'm not going to just not vote for my party because I don't like the person that they're picking, right? He might sit on his vote, but to publicly say I'm supporting Democrats to go against your own party and the so-called policies that you support, that's confusing to me. I mean, at best, you just don't say anything and like, yo, it's gonna be a game time decision, or I might sit this one out, or whatever. But they're women, so it is what it is. But one thing I thought was funny is that Tamara was on Don Lemon one time, and Don Lemon, it was talk about gun control, and she was, even though she's a never Trumper, she was still brought on for the conversation. She's still pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, I would assume. Trump hasn't changed that about her yet. And Don Lemon, although they just had a segment roasting Trump and going in on him, standard, CNN. That's their whole motto. That's what got the ratings up now, right? But Don Lemon says to her, despite her Republican self-hate, despite her being a never Trumper, he told her that you are the enemy in regards to her being a pro-Second Amendment person. So even though you go on TV and you tap in, and the funny thing is the context around that, the context is similar, I'm going to get there, to what Anna Navaro's doing, who's not black, right? Tamara, at least she black, and she said what she said. But she made a same analogy with Bakari sellout bitch ass. They were kind of referencing Kanye in a belittling way about his Trump support, right? And it's funny, she's up there kiki ha laughing about Kanye, who didn't vote for Trump, nonetheless. Doesn't like Trump politically, which is what he said. It's some personal shit, which I get. But why she's kiki and ha-haing about potential black Trump supporters, or in that specific case, Kanye, they do the same thing to her. Don Lennon told her to her face, you are the problem. You are the enemy because you are pro-Second Amendment. Huh? But you gonna still go on his show and get that check because they gonna keep calling you, because Fox News isn't obviously gonna call you. Fox News is gonna call. They're not gonna have a whole bunch. They have people like Shepard Smith who just quit. They have people who are libertarian, who are conservative, who are Republicans, who don't like Trump. But they're not about to have, they're not going to change their whole motto to make every Republican that comes on the show about that life. But now, flash forward, because Anna Navaro just tweeted something out, and she didn't just add Kanye. She said Sheriff David Clark and Ben Carson, and she made some sly remarks at Diamond and Silk. Now, I know black folks don't hold any of these people in high regards. Kanye's more in limbo because the motherfucker, like, we tried to cancel him, but you can't cancel a motherfucker who is not dependent upon you economically, so they cancel really don't mean nothing. So black folks are still in limbo with Kanye, right? They want to cancel him, but he can't go away because, Jesus is King, or some Yeezys, or My Dark Twisted Fantasies is one of the greatest productions of all times, album-wise. So I get it, right? They want to, but they can't, and they feel some type of way, but he won't go away. And now, Sheriff David Clark, he's done a little bit much. I get why black folks don't like him. Dr. Ben Carson, I'm medium, and I'm saying black folks love Dr. Ben Carson until he ran for president. Until he did that prayer breakfast and he took shots at Barack Obama, which I agree with everything he said in that prayer breakfast meeting, but he did it right next to Obama. His support and love fell off, which every black person who told the truth about Obama, whether it was Travis Smiley, whether it was Cornel West, they lost a lot of love from black folks. So I get that. But the thing that bothers me about Ben Carson is that when you listen to his policies when he was first running for president, he did have some good stuff in there. And he did have some unique things that would address need and issues. But they were drowned out by the media, and the white liberals, of course, have had to pick their way to find dirt on him, which they couldn't for the longest because, he wasn't about that life. He's not the pizza man like Herman McCain, who, had dirt. So they had ways to diminish him and found him a Me Too movement before the Me Too movement started and got him out of here. They couldn't do that with Ben Carson, so they had to, mess with his intellect and act like what he was saying was not making sense, and, But that's my issue with Ben Carson. I think he was weak as far as running for president. He was soft. He let other Republicans, Ted Cruz did that cheat shit, where he said he was going to concede, and he took some of his voters and all other stuff, and he lied. He didn't clap back at that. He let Trump punk him too during the election, all that stuff. So he shouldn't have won because he was too weak for president. But nonetheless, he's still, an icon in Black America. He's still going down in history books, regardless of how we might feel about him. You can't take away the receipts from his neurosurgery shit. I hear black folks talking about, the lawsuits and stuff that happens to all surgeons with leaving stuff in people's bodies and all that stuff, trying to discredit him. Can't do that. Black folks loved him up until they saw his political views, which is whatever. But my whole premise is this: if we say that there's this cult which does not exist, if we say there's these things that we don't do at the public forum, we don't disparage the black people in front of mixed company, that does not exist, right? People want to hold you to that account, but it does not exist. And I thought it was funny how, a black woman will say, well, no other race of men does this to their women publicly and this and that. They'll never put another group before. But that's not a black male thing. That's a black people thing, because if you just saw what happened with Max Kellerman, no other group will take a person from our group and say, we're trading for somebody we don't like over here. When have you heard them do that? When have the LGBT said, we're going to get rid of this gay person and bring over some black person? or Latino community or the Jewish community. No other group does that. It's not a black male doing it's a black woman thing. It's a black people thing. We don't have any structure and standard when it comes to that. We'll let other people come into our spaces, shit on black folks that we might have an in-house disagreement with that could be worked out if we knew how to disagree. But we have no problem having the Michael Rappaports, the Bill Maher's, the Max Kellermans, the Vlad TVs speak disparaging about black folks that we might have beef with. And I say we as in encompassing all of us, not me. I ain't got no issues with none of these people. Right? And that's why Anna Navaro felt comfortable disparaging black voters and black people who are on those polls. Because we allow other groups of people to come in and shit on our own. Black men who talk that shit and I don't date black women, now they do it. But so do black people when it comes to politics or celebrity or whoever. We do that in general. And that's sad. It's sad that you will be in mixed company and you will shit on black folks with other groups of people who don't have your best interests at heart. At the end of the day, despite how you feel about Dr. B. Carson, I do believe he has the best interests of black Americans people at heart. I just do. Despite how you feel about Stephen A. Smith, I do believe he wants what's best for black American men and the black community as a whole. Way more than Max Kellerman does. Got to get past this point where because you don't like somebody, you'll participate and stand next to other groups who got their own agendas and their own goals for their own communities. Disparage yours. That's where the code would begin. That's where the code starts. But the same people online talking about code this, code that, all they do is call black folks coons and Uncle Toms and this and that publicly. And now you made it comfortable for people like Sent from the Young Turks and all these other white liberals to disparage prominent black people. People who've done things and have receipts in your community. That's not cool. I don't want to be a part of that type of community. But yeah, Anna, you know, I get it. She picked easy targets, Diamond and Silk, you know, Sheriff Clark. But then when you get to the Kanyes and, you know what I mean? And that's the funny thing, right? Because remember when Michael Rappaport was talking shit about Trump and all that and dismissing Stacey Dashes and all that stuff. People we would just disregard. Fine, cool, get rid of them. But as soon as Michael Rappaport made a joke or said something funny or bad about Janet, then y'all was on y'all feel, oh no, not her. We like her. She's safe. Like, don't talk about her. You shouldn't be supporting or co-signing any white person or Latino or LGBT, disparaging any black person. If you really believe in the code and you really believe in not in airing their laundry and attacking folks. Now, if these people attack the community specifically, that's one thing. I get it. Roast their ass. But you don't got to participate with white folks to do it. I don't know. But yeah, like the poll said that that's true. So what do you think? Forget whether you think the poll is right or not. Trump has more black support than any other Republican in the last 2-3 elections. He beat Romney. He beat John McCain. Dusty ass. He beat Bush. So it's not far-fetched to understand that he has more support, despite the fact that the media constantly is, you know, on him. He's got more support than all the other Republicans. They got 8-9%. He got 15, 14. And that's all he needs. He doesn't need the black vote. Right? All Trump needs is, say, 15 to 18% of black men and 5 to 7% of black women. And that's a lot. He can get the 70-30 from the Latinos. And he can get the 50-50 from white folks and still win. It's funny when we keep saying that you need the black vote to win. You need the black vote to win. Well, Trump won without it. That's crazy. The Democrats got the black vote. 96% black women, 85% black men, and she still lost, right? But I don't understand. We let Anna and the Young Turks and Bill Maher and all these other folks feel comfortable speaking on our shit, but they would not do the same in return. They not gonna let you disparage somebody in their community that they might not agree with his politics, but if he's got receipts and he's helping the community, he's doing things, they're like, no, we'll chastise him, we'll correct him and admonish him or whatever. You can't do that. But we don't think like that. I guarantee you, all the colleagues at CNN, the Bakari sellouts, the Joanne Reeds at MSNBC, the Malcolm Nance, and all those folks is probably liking and tweeting and retweeting Anna Navaro's tweet. Like, yeah, ain't no black folks. Let's disparage the black voters who are voting for their own interests or whatever they believe in, because it makes you feel good. You know the black community so well, despite the fact, right? And remember, Roland Martin said that the 15% of black men who voted for Trump were stupid. Michael Eric Dyson said that the 15% of black men who voted for Trump were sexist, misogynist, and patriarchy. Mark Lamont, bitch ass crying over Gaza Hill, said he was disappointed and it shouldn't have happened, even though he didn't vote for Hillary either. He voted for Joe Stein. Right? Now, those are all black men. Critique your whatever community, but don't let people from the outside come in doing that. Like, that's not cool. You don't let outside family disrespect your wife, right? You don't let, this isn't how it works. You don't let other teammates or other teams disrespect your team, do you? So, why as a community do we let other people from outside the group publicly, even if it's not the ones that she mentioned, there are people in your family that you love, that you respect, who voted that way, and she gets to disparage them publicly, like, untouched. That's not cool. No other group, and I hate when people say this, no other group does this, no other group does that. That is true, though. Other groups don't let folks do that. We do. I'm out.